What's up guys, Volt here bringing you a brand new Fast and Furious car remake. In today's remake, I am bringing you the 1972 Tomaso Pantera that we see driven by Vince in Fast 5. Now don't get what I say confused, he didn't own the car at all. Brian, Mia, Dom, and himself were heisting cars for a client, aka Hernan Reyes, off a DEA train. The Pantera GTS was one of the cars that it was housed on the train after it was seized by the Drug Enforcement Agency, or DEA for short. I believe this all took place in Rio de Janeiro. I could be wrong on that, but this was the very first car that they got off the train, and Vince was the one that was actually the one driving it. The second car was the GT40, which you will see a little bit later on, and it was driven by Mia. And the third one, which was the Corvette Grand Sport that Dom and Brian got away in, you'll be seeing that a little bit later on as well. That's pretty much it. I have to say that this car turned out pretty decent. It does have a wide body to it, and unfortunately, unlike most other cars, this is about the closest you can get to it in game. I wanted to bring out this kind of quote-unquote set, and I will be bringing it out here soon. This is the main beginning part of the set, so this is the very first car they heisted. Again, you'll be seeing the GT40 next, then the Corvette Grand Sport last. I thought it'd be a nice little cool set that you guys can create and collect. So let's get in and start going over the car in general. So as all we're going to do, we're going to start off with the base price. So unfortunately, the sad part is this car has been removed from the website, and it only reappears once Rockstar actually adds it back to the website via Simeon's dealership or possibly even the luxury auto showroom. It is $875,000 base price, and again, this is the closest thing you can actually get. If you are on new gen, you actually do have a chance to get one of these from someone that actually owns one, or possibly even a mod account. There's plenty of them around there. You can just buy it off them and change it up however you wish. It's pretty basic and pretty simple. The build came out pretty decent, and I'm just gonna go over and customize the beauty. I don't really have anything else to say about it. Anyone that possibly did request this, I'll put that on screen right now, so thank you very much for requesting it. But I do believe that no one actually requested this. This is just my own idea and take on it, but I, again, could be wrong. Anyways, let's go over and customize the beauty. So as you pull in, the Lampadati Viseris is in the sports classic category, or Viseris, however you want to say that. I don't know exactly how you say it, but I mean, that's pretty much how I would say it anyways. And as you can see, this is the car in all its glory. So as I always do in all my builds, I go over the overall look, the visual appearance, and the basic design, the car and how it's portrayed in a movie, game, or anywhere else in general itself. Anything I don't go over is completely up to you. I just put a few staples in on my build. If you want to recreate my build or take some things away from my build, you're more than welcome to. But without further ado, let's get into the build. So to start things off, you want to go to bumpers. You want to go to the front bumper, and you want to go with the stock bumper. It doesn't have any of like the bottom parts down here. It doesn't have any kind of extra bumper, splitter, canards, open grill thing, or anything like that. It's just nice and smooth and clean, so just go with the stock front bumper. After that, move on to the rear bumpers. You want to go with the remove rear bumper option. What this does is it's going to actually remove the bumper, and the back actually is smooth and clean. This car is pretty much all black all the way around, except for the rims, which I'll go over a little bit. But yes, you want to make sure you go with the removed option. You don't want like a plastic bumper or a chrome bumper, so make sure it's nice and smooth by using the removed. After that, move on to the chassis. You want to go with the GT filters is my best option here. I think, I mean, I don't really know exactly what was underneath the hood of the actual car. I feel like it probably had filters of this sort underneath instead of something along the lines of this, but for me, I just went for the GT filters. I think it was like $1,800 just to change this, so I mean, it really wasn't expensive at all, and it's a really cheap thing to change. I mean, you can literally get this from doing like nothing in game. It give you a $2,000 bonus for good behavior. So I mean, take your pick on which one you want to go for. We don't get much information, and I didn't actually look up the main car build. Yeah, I would say, me personally, I'm going with the GT filters or the stock chassis if you wish. Completely up to you. After that, move on to the exhaust. You want to go with the twin chrome exhaust. Now, these were really massive exhausts. Unfortunately, we can't get anything close to that. They were not as big as this, not sticking out the end like that either. They were quad tip, well, double tipped exhaust on each side, and there's 4 of them total. So I went with the twin chrome exhaust because I think it does fit the best for the build, and I think it just kind of gives the point across of what car we're trying to recreate. After that, move on to the fenders. You want to go with the stock left fender. I mean, it doesn't really change anything. You just want to keep them stock. It looks the cleanest in my opinion. This doesn't look terrible, but for a different build in general. And I may even come out with that a little bit later on as well. As of for this build, I would say go with the stock left fender. I don't know why it says left. It should just be stock fenders in my opinion. I would definitely go with the stock left fender. Best option there. After that, move on to the hood. You want to go with the single vent hood. Unfortunately, it was a smooth hood, but we cannot get anything like that in game. As you can see here, look at this, and this, and this, and this. I think the single vent hood is the best option to go for. Well, one, it's color coded, and two, it kind of takes up less amount of the hood compared to the double openings and all that. So me personally, I'm with the single vented hood. You can also go with the secondary detail hood if you wish, but I just think that it kind of sticks out a little bit too much, and this is a little bit more hidden to the actual hood, so I went with the single vent hood. So that's my best option there. After that, move on to the lights. You want to go to headlights. You just want to go with the golden shower lights. It was a very old car. A 1972 De Tomaso Pantera is a very, very old car. So it had to have an old or a patina type light look to it, like the yellow type lights. So I think the golden shower lights fit the best for this build. After that, move on to the neon kits. You want to go to neon layouts. You want to go with none because they didn't have a neon that I noticed, and most likely didn't have a neon. Again, after like the third movie of the Fast and Furious franchise, they kind of stayed away or drifted away from the neon. And that was not a pun at all, but that was just that just came out like that. So yeah, I would definitely go with none. Best option there. After that, move on to the plate. You want to go with a blue and white 3, and the custom plate you want to go for is DRK space 8537. Again, that is DRK space 8537. Now this, I think, is the best look for the custom plate because it does represent the Rio de Janeiro plate, the best option we have in the game right now. And the custom plate is actually on the car, is this plate right here. So I'd highly recommend putting a space. It makes the car just stand out a little bit better, and the plate stand out a little bit better too. Saving respray for last, we move on to the skirts. You want to go with the stock skirts. It didn't have any extra parts to the actual car. Like, it wasn't like extended or anything like that. It was a lot smoother and a lot smaller. It was a pretty small car, but it was a pretty cool looking car too. So I think the stock skirts are the best option there. After that, move on to the spoiler. Unfortunately, you're not going to get any traction bonus on this car because it was nice and smooth, and this is pretty much how the back end kind of looked in the car too. So I would definitely go with none. If you wish, and if you really want to add a little bit of traction, you can add the hoodlit spoiler, but me personally, I'm not going to. It just doesn't look right. I was also thinking about adding the slipstream spoiler too, but at the same time, it doesn't look right, and it just kind of throws off the build a little bit. So I'm just going with none. This is more of a collection car to me than anything else. I'm not going to be driving around the street like showing it off and all that much. It's just mainly a collection car that's going to stay in my garage. So none is the best option for me. After that, move on to the suspension. I went with a lowered suspension. I feel like it was lowered a little bit. I wouldn't say completely all the way, but I mean, it doesn't drop it that much, as you can see. So me personally, I would either go with stock or lowered at the most. I guess if you really wanted to, you could go with a street build, but I would say either stock or lowered is the best option there. After that, move on to the turbo. I honestly wouldn't add a turbo. I don't believe it had a turbo. I didn't hear it have a turbo in the car. So, I mean, in the movie, it didn't really sound all too turbo boosted or anything. Again, the sounds are edited and altered all kinds of different ways in the movie, but I mean, me personally, I'm not going to add one because I didn't hear one, and I try to make my builds as realistic as possible, so none for me. After that, move on to the wheels. You want to go to wheel type. You want to go to pretty much any of them and just go to the stock rims, and you just want to keep them stock. The stock rims are the closest rims that are actually on the Pantera in the movie. So I would say the stock rims are the best option. I mean, there's no other rims that fit it at all and look relatively close to the stock rims. So I would definitely go with the stock wheels. After that, move on to the wheel color. They're stock rims, so you can't change them, so don't worry about that. After that, move on to the tires. You want to go to tire design. You can't change that either because it's stock rims. You can't do anything with that. After that, move on to the tire enhancements. You want to go with standard tires. It wasn't drifting, so no low grips. And I mean, it is GT Online. You can add bulletproof tires on if you wish, but that is completely your call there. Me personally, I'm going with standard tires. From there, move on to the tire smoke. You just want to go with a nice white tire smoke. I don't see a point in changing this. After that, move on to the windows. You want to go with a nice dark limo. It was really darked out color, like it is really blacked out type car look. So I mean, limo's the best option we have. I would definitely go with limo. It definitely wasn't a dark smoke. It definitely was really dark, so I would go with a limo at the most. All right, and I'll see you guys in 2 seconds with a rolled steel primer color. All right, and we're back. As you can see, I have my car and my primered out rolled steel. Pretty much what I always do for all my builds. That way you know what colors I'm going to be doing for the LSC color and custom crew color. Yes, there's going to be 2 of them for this car, and I think the other ones also have 2 colors, but I could be wrong on that. But yeah, we're going to start off with the LSC color first. So you want to go to the primary color. You want to go to classics. You want to go up here to the blacks, and you just want to apply the classic black. You can also apply the metallic if you wish, but then you also have to change the pearlescent to black just to make sure on that, just to remember that. And secondary is also going to be the same, so either classic or a metallic black. After that, move on to the trim color. You want to go with a nice dark black. The interior was pretty much all black. It did have a roll cage, but unfortunately in game we can't add that. So to get the best interior we can, go with the black trim color interior. And that right there is the LSC color done. Again, a very viable option, as I always say when I do a custom crew color and all that. But I mean, it's about the closest thing you can get if you don't want to use a custom crew color or don't have the option to do so. But if you do have the option to do so, we're going to move on to the custom crew color right now, which is, again, pure black. I know it's not really that exciting. I use it for a lot, but I mean, overall, the color just comes in handy so much. Anyways, I'll put the hex code on screen right now for you guys if you don't know it already. So there you go. And you'll see the color change in 3, 2, 1. As you can see, it just gets so much more darker, just a more deep black, and it just doesn't look as gray as like the metallic or classic black, in my opinion. It just looks more like a really dark black. So you want to apply that just like that. After that, move on to the secondary color, same exact thing. Just apply that just like that. Custom crew color. Trim color stays the same, add black. And that is it, guys. That is how you recreate the 1972 De Tomaso Pantera that we see Vince driving in Fast 5. Again, pretty basic, pretty simple, and pretty straightforward build. That's pretty much all I gotta say about it. So let's go back to our parking spot. All right, so let's go outside. All right, now that we're outside, I'll do a little spin for you guys real quick. I'm honestly happy with how this build turned out. It looks relatively close to the actual Pantera that's actually in the movie and everything. So, I mean, other than the wide body, I wish we could remove that or maybe make it a Benny's car and add that option if you wanted to. But overall, I'm fairly happy with how it turned out. And hopefully you guys are too. Anyways, let's go for a little bit of a drive. So this car is actually pretty quick. It's not actually that slow. But yeah, as you guys can see, this car is not slow at all. Even without the turbo, this thing zooms down the highway. Now, not like HSW speed, not like a supercar speed, but I mean, this is a sports classic car. And this is how it's handling. It's really impressive, honestly. But yeah, guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up the video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave comments down in the comment section down below for what build you'd like to see next. Also, stay tuned for the other two collection-esque builds as well, the GT40 and the Corvette Grand Sport. Links down in the description below for Twitter, Discord, and the crew. Free to join, free to leave anytime you wish. If you want a custom crew color, feel free to message me in the comment section of any video you want the color on. With all that being said, guys, hope you have a great day/night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the love and support, as always. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. I'll catch you guys later. And I'm out. Peace.